knobby like that?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, okay. I need to readjust how I'm going to do this. Hold on, man.
It's the point of view of a dead body that he's moving.
Yeah, I need to get it out from underneath my phone. Move it over here.
You get to see the impurities in the way they drywall the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a shoddy job.
Well, it just looks like not
Yeah,
that
no,
good.
that's no good.
It's kind of coming down. That's because I had to, I hit a body up there.
I can't hear you, though.
Can you hear me?
No, let me look here.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? It's saying that my... Can you not hear me?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I know. That's my fault again. Sorry about that. This little knob. What you got? You got yourself a...
Well, it was... I'm plugged in.
Yeah.
So I was trying to...
You're trying to do like a Cloverfield camera action.
I was just going to do this the entire time. I don't know how to set my phone down because it's plugged in. Let's see.
Yeah, I had to work out like I'm actually using this rig where I made I have a capo hooked up to a camera stand, and it holds the phone because I'm sure normal people can buy things where
Normal
people buy things that hook right up to like a little camera stand.
Oh, speaking of cameras, I've got this bag, this camera bag. So maybe there's a...
I was thinking, is that a camcorder?
Yeah, look at all that.
If you could find a way to get an adapter and use that, that would be really cool. It'd be a cool look. I don't see why not.
Well, the issue with the camera is that, like, it powers up. It's probably been like 6 months since I tried to figure out what the problem was with it. I think it's just like once the menu comes up, like it won't let me do anything.
Yeah.
None of the icons do anything. There's no fucking clip in here, man. There's so many goddamn cables.
Maybe it's in a drawer. Do you have a drawer full of things that have nothing to do with each other? You can find it in there randomly.
I have many drawers with many things that don't have anything to do with each other.
Yeah, I've been trying to put things together lately that have things to do with each other in its own drawer.
Trying to get organized.
Yeah, I guess that's what it's called. I don't know these big college words.
Isn't that what he says in Taxi Driver?
Gotta get organized. I like when
he doesn't have that like mobster accent.
No, it's more like this. A little creepo. Some scum, the muck, the piss, the shit, all that. I like when he fucks up the line in the narration and then he just kind of starts over again and they keep it in the movie. It's like,
Oh,
because it's kind of like in real life when you're doing an inner monologue, you do the same thing. You kind of like revise your own thoughts as they happen if you're a crazy idiot.
he is crazy.
There you go.
Yeah,
This is
I
Daddy's
got the
chair.
clip. It's my hand. Yeah, I swear.
That's a perfect angle for
For what?
for a person. It's just a good angle. It's like this.
Yeah, you could go lower like that. So
And then you have that halo over you, like it's like Life of Brian.
yep, that's what it's like.
It might be like that.
Oh fuck.
But it's real frustrating to try to find like things to make these things work and find adapters and shit.
That's the same reason why. That's the same thing. That's Trump's problem right now. He's just having a hard time.
Keeping his, I don't even know. It's like a bunch of papers on a piece of table, then they're all blowing away, and he's trying to like put rocks on them. I don't know what his.
Yeah, he needs.
He needs to go back and change his whole strategy and be like the nice Trump. That's the problem. He could have been
right.
like,
It's like if you're gonna collect pennies,
he could have pandered to
you gotta
both sides.
You got to keep them separated.
He's already
by
committed.
year. He's just got all of his penny collection in one drawer.
Well, he's only taken. He's those pennies that in the coin star that fall out. He just leaves them there. He's like, these pennies are dirty. I always thought that Christopher Walken should have played Trump at one time because he kind of sounded like him in the old, and maybe 20 years ago when Donald Trump almost sounded kind of New York.
Well, he's from New York.
Yeah, and so Christopher Walken's from Brooklyn or whatever, and it kind of would have the same. He could have played him. You know what I mean?
Well,
I also think who's the guy in The Trip? Keith, or not Keith Coogan, but
Steve could.
Steve Coogan. There's a difference. Steve Coogan should play Gore Vidal. That's one of my other theories.
I think you've mentioned that. What do you think about Hamlet 2?
I liked Hamlet too. It's over the top.
Rock Me Sexy Jesus.
Yeah. Like the only other person that could have done that was like Jim Carrey. It's almost over the top like Jim Carrey.
Well, there's that. There's like a Netflix special where Johnny Depp portrayed Trump. Did you ever see that?
No, I remember hearing about it. Maybe I did see part of it. That was a while ago, wasn't it? That was a few years when he was running.
I think so, yeah.
He hadn't done nearly as much terrible things.
It was very weird, though. I remember watching it. And I don't remember. The accent was really weird.
I don't like Johnny Depp, and I don't like Brad Pitt. I think they're both pretty mediocre.
Well, there was a lot of. I think he had a lot of makeup on. Like, he looked weird, but you could still tell it was Johnny Depp. I don't know. It was a very. I don't remember if I watched all of it. I may have fallen asleep because it wasn't very good.
I'm sure it wasn't. Remember That's My Bush?
Yeah. The only thing I remember from that show is when he's like he's like stealing cable from the neighbor or something, and he's got this huge just like chain of cables running into the front door of the White House, and it's all like duct taped down
Yeah.
to the car. But I don't remember anything else about the show. I don't remember who played the guy.
Because Bush was just kind of like a dude that would do that, just kind of rig things. And, you know, like if you're putting a stereo and a TV on the same thing, and like he's the kind of guy who would just have all the cables on the front. You know what I mean? Instead of hiding them behind and routing.
He was a smart guy.
Yeah, you just hook them up first and then shove it in there, and then all the power and all the RCA cables just stick out the front.
He was like, he's the kind of guy that like takes two really important things and is like, how can I simplify this? And that's how you come up with like a microwave that tells time also.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He would do the bathroom buddy from Gremlins. Like that would be a George Bush invention. Or the smokeless ashtray. Both of those are good.
It's like in The Office when Michael Scott is talking about his inventions and that one thing that he's trying to market called like Toilet Buddy.
Yeah, a little caddy on the toilet with like a book, and
it like catches. He said that it goes inside the toilet to catch like any of your stuff that falls out of your pockets.
Yeah, because somebody invented the thing for the car that you stick in your car between your seats. But I think that's what was actually a good idea. You drinking a brewski?
Yeah. What are you drinking? Iced tea?
I have to drink tea.
Well, that's good for you.
I'm off the booze.
Yeah.
I thought it would make me like sharper and faster and smarter, but nah.
Well, it seems like more and more people are getting off the booze. You know, that's another, Trump thing. That's why he's so sharp, because he doesn't drink.
No, but he's on Xanax or something. Something's going on here, there. He doesn't get any sleep. It seems like Trump is tired.
I don't know if he
had another bad night of sleep.
I haven't been trying to pay attention to him much, but I still do like to hear from time to time when he storms out of a conference, like in the middle of a question, or if he just like occasionally I'll watch like an entire conference of his where he just like won't, like he'll go on for
10 minutes and then 2 questions is too much for him.
But never answer like directly what the person is asking. That'll be like, oh, next question. That's enough.
Yeah. A valid question is an attack. Because he was like, I can't believe you asked me a question that I didn't have a good answer to.
But like most recently was that like Veterans Care Act or something that he kept saying that he had passed that no other president had ever been able to do, and one of the reporters is like, why do you keep trying to take credit for this when this was signed into law by Barack Obama like 6 years ago? And he was just like, okay. He was like, that's enough.
Yeah.
He was like, thank you, and just like stormed out. Like,
if you're just gonna be a jerk and ask me that question.
Started playing fucking YMCA by the Village People as he was storming off the stage. Like, that's his exit music. He's such a fucking idiot.
Well, he stole a couple songs from people that were mad at, I think, Neil Young and
well, the Stones, I think, as well.
He played Rockin' in the Free World. Which is written in the time of Trump. about like homelessness and like how rich people were taking advantage of poor people. Basically, is what the song's about.
But I
It's
understand that he's like trying to rally and get his fucking goons excited, and they don't understand that like song like "Rockin' the Free World" is completely against
no,
everything he stands for. Like everything Neil Young, all of his songs are against.
yeah, they wouldn't know.
But for some reason, like how does he land on YMCA?
That was just bad timing. It was like YMCA, but it sounds so carefree that it's almost like he doesn't care. He's like, all right, this is what I think of your question. YMCA is more important than me answering your question. It should have been like, I don't know. There's no good song at that point. Like he could have to play something more like badass, like Steppenwolf, Born to Be Wild, like dance, like as he walked off.
Yeah, I'm sure he does play that at like rallies, where
And he does it repeatedly. He just plays it, and then until he tries to get away with playing these songs until someone tells him not to, and gives him a cease and desist. And he's done it multiple times because he didn't like call someone up and ask him, because none of these guys are going to do it. Like you'd have to get what person would voluntarily give their song, a Kid Rock or something? You know what I mean? Or Joey or Johnny Ramone.
Isn't Kid Rock like friends with Donald Trump?
Yeah, like I'm sure Kid Rock has let him play some songs on his campaign.
He should. Oh man, if he
American Badass,
he played like "Ba with Ba."
Yeah, if it would have been the song he played every time, it would have been his campaign song. Or like, actually, it's funny because we talk about it like he's campaigning, but he's just been doing this for 4 years. He does like just promotions. He doesn't do press conferences. There's no press conferences. There's promotion, PR. It's like Ronald Reagan.
He can call it whatever he wants.
It's like Ronald Reagan would. It turned into just PR. It's a show. Doesn't he do a State of the Union address? When do they do those?
Aren't you, as president, like supposed to do that?
I can't remember how often. Is it just halfway through, or is it every year? Are you hiccuping?
Yeah.
You're like a cartoon boozy wino.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a drunk cartoon character, but I can't.
There's the one from the elephant when the tiny elephant. Do you remember the tiny elephant walking on the sidewalk? And there's
Dumbo?
No, it's Warner Brothers. There's a tiny cartoon elephant, and then like this drunk guy walks by and he says, looks at his watch, "You're late," and then he walks away. Because he's so drunk, he doesn't care. It's a tiny elephant.
I'm gonna unplug this.
Sure. Yeah, something's weird. Do you hear a weird distortion? I thought you were just putting some distortion on the vocals.
Oh, you'd know it.
Yeah, we could both sound like fucking like a butthole surfers back and forth. So you don't have the reverb on?
I haven't found that option on my phone.
So how are you doing the reverb on that show, on the Bullshitters in the Boiler Room show that JR does?
It just comes out that way, like in the boiler room.
What do you mean, in where you're at?
There's just great acoustics in the
I don't think that's true. Like you're inside that thing that Freddy Krueger went inside, where they keep his glove.
Well, I mean,
You're
I'm
inside
in
a
the
sleep
room with the
deprivation.
boiler where you would bang on one.
You're inside of a steel drum.
Well, not inside of it. That's like Waterworld, where that guy is in the bottom of the ship, like down with all that oil or something. Remember that?
I don't remember that part. I know that it's one of Dennis Hopper's shit movies that he made.
But Dennis Hopper like opens the like latch or the lid or whatever and looks down. That guy's down in there, and he's like, "How you doing, sir?" Something like that.
Because he used it as a prison. It used to be like a tank.
No, the guy is like his duty is like doing something down there, but he's just in a bunch of oil or something. I don't know. But Dennis Hopper just like spits. He spits down and it lands like right on the guy's glasses as he's looking up at Dennis Hopper. And the guy's like, "Thank you, sir." And Dennis Hopper just closes the door on him.
Shit, man, I gotta watch Waterworld again.
But yeah, when Bryce and I were talking about when I first brought up Bullshitters in the Boiler Room to Bryce, that was like a scene I referenced. I was like, "Oh yeah, you know that scene where like that guy is like down in the ship," and Bryce is like, "What?"
No one knows that scene except the Waterworld. If you've seen Waterworld more than once,
Or no, I don't think he thanks Dennis Hopper for spitting on him. He thanks Kevin Costner when Kevin Costner opens it up and throws a lit match down in there. And right before it explodes, the guy's like, "Thank you."
who's the actor?
Huh?
Who's the actor? Is he
I don't know.
Is he like a little person?
No, he's. I mean, he looks like a mechanic, like a little old man.
Okay.
Like a greasy, kind of like the tow truck driver in Neighbors. You remember that guy that
Shit.
punches Earl Keys in the stomach?
Is that the guy in Neighbors? Is the guy in Gremlins?
Maybe.
The guy that talks about the Gremlins.
Last time I tried to rewatch Gremlins, I fell asleep too. Falling asleep too much.
You're probably drinking eggnog because it was Christmas time.
You know, I haven't been on the nog in a couple of years.
I want a nog. I want a nog right now.
I got pretty hard into the nog with Bryce and Jason for a long time. And then I think like one year, it must have been on like Christmas Eve, the three of us got like really, really drunk drinking eggnog. And I think I drank like 2 bottles of the Evan Williams eggnog that I was mixing with brandy. And the next morning when I went to my parents' house on Christmas, I was really, really not feeling great. I mean, you're hungover, but on top of it, you've got like a body full of fucking like eggnog.
It's a big sugar crash on top
So
of
my
your
parents gave me a bottle of Evan Williams eggnog for some reason. It's like
already
a stock
mixed.
stuffer, and I looked at it and I like threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
It's still in my refrigerator. I've never opened it. It's probably been like 4 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Christmas is coming up.
I know. And it means one less trip to the store because I've already got that aged.
It is aged like 18 years aged eggnog mix.
It's very cool. It's been chilling for years.
It's really cool. It's nothing like a thick, viscous alcoholic beverage.
Yeah. Like I remember, did your parents ever save like bacon grease and put it in the refrigerator?
My mom did.
My mom used to do that, and I remember I would see it in like a mason jar in the refrigerator sometimes, and it was like one of the grossest looking things.
And it's the same container that's been there for 20 years.
Yeah,
The same bacon grease thing.
it doesn't really.
No one ever uses it.
Doesn't really look the same, but for some reason, I always think about like refrigerated bacon grease when in basketball, when he drinks out of that pap smear bag with the straw, or no, not pap smear, the bag of
he says it's
liposuction, like liposuction from Marlon Brando's ass or something.
Yeah. He's like, oh my God. He's like, why am I drinking this? Fat liposuction from Marlon Brando's ass. That's before he's dead.
Was it before he was dead? I don't remember when he died.
Probably, if they wouldn't joke around about a freshly dead Marlon Brando.
A dead guy's liposuction. Speaking of Brando, when was the last time you watched
Apocalypse Now?
No, what you're thinking of is The Island of Dr. Moreau.
I watched it once, like a long time ago. And the best part was just the animal people orgy. And then Val Kilmer doing the Marlon Brando impression.
He does that in more than one movie, actually.
Yeah. What's the other one?
It's called Twixt. It's I want to say it's a Francis Ford Coppola movie. It's this like gothic Twixt. Twixt.
That's weird.
Val Kilmer portrays God, what is his fucking name? Hall Baltimore.
Is it a weird like fantasy type movie?
Yeah.
Artsy. Yeah, I've seen part of that. Me and Eric Conrath used to rent weird movies when I lived with them, and we'd watch it, and I couldn't remember half of them.
He's in it, and Bruce Dern plays like sheriff in it. But Val Kilmer's character is like he's a novelist.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Stops in some town to do a book signing at like
I saw the set.
Also like a hardware store, and like nobody cared. But it's like there's some like abandoned resort or some bullshit that at some point in time Edgar Allan Poe stayed at, so he like sticks around, and then he gets like engulfed in all the
talks to Edgar Allan Poe, like it's like a ghost figure.
But there's a scene where he's in his motel room, and he's getting real drunk by himself, and he's just talking to himself, and he starts doing the Brando voice.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I don't know if he felt like he did a really good Brando or something, and like I wonder how many times he tried to convince the director, like, hey, you should really let me do, you got to hear my Brando. You know what, even better,
the director
don't have me do it until you're rolling the film.
Well, who directed Island of Dr. Moreau?
Fuck. I can't. Well, the guy that was supposed to direct it got fired from it, and then they brought in the other guy.
Oh, that's right. There's a big story about it.
I can't remember. I can't fucking think of either of their names right now.
But one was Steven, or none was you know his name.
Steve Coogan.
It was Keith Coogan from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Yeah.
Another director was Peter Bogdanovich was one of them, right?
I think so, yeah. And the first one was Richard something.
Right? Was it Ridley Scott?
No.
I thought both directors were really good, and neither of them wanted to do it.
No, the first guy the guy that was originally on it wanted to do it. And he had like this whole vision of how it was supposed to be. And
Mike,
I just recently watched The Island of Lost Souls too, which is the documentary about like the like chaos during that
yeah,
production.
I've heard about
And
that.
like at some point they basically told him like you're done and like we're gonna pay you the rest of your contract, but like you have to leave the island and you have to like go back to
Was that
England, I think. And so they had bought him a plane ticket and just like never they just assumed he left, and then like somebody had contacted somebody on the set at some point. They're like, hey, where's so and so? They're like, what do you mean? He was supposed to fly back. And he was like, well, he didn't come back. And then they found out that he was just like living on the island in a hut or something. And it's like believed that he made his way onto the set and wore like one of the beast costumes the entire time. So he's like
one of
in
the
the movie,
extras?
but like it was like really hot, and everybody would be like, nobody could wait to get out of their costumes. But there was just this one cast member that would never take off his costume, and he had on the head and everything, and he'd just be standing there, and they'd be like, "Hey, you know, you can take that off," and he'd be like, "Oh no." So yeah, they think that was him, I
I could
guess.
look it up if you really want to know.
Oh, I mean, I'll watch it later tonight. So
Yeah.
but the guy that got fired from it, he just did some movie that has Nicolas Cage in it. He wrote and directed it. It's
I
like
really
The Color Out of Space or something.
Nicolas Cage makes a movie every 4 months, so I don't even know.
It's like every 4 minutes.
He makes a movie every 4 minutes.
I still haven't watched Mandy, but the most recent Nicolas Cage movie that's come out that I've seen was with him and Gina Gershon.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad. Have you seen that?
No, that looked pretty good.
He gets his cage on in that movie. He gets pretty crazy.
He's always, he always has to get a little Cage on, even in something like Con Air. Let me look up.
But yeah, by that point in his career, they were like, "Look, you're gonna be in this movie because we want you to, you know, be you." Do you remember that video game at the like the movie theater arcade, Rage in a Cage?
No.
It was just a basketball game. Like you shoot baskets, but it was called Rage in a Cage, and that was like the only lyrics in the song. But
There's a song that played.
yeah, it was just like it was like a real deep voice, but I mean it was probably like slowed down. It was like Rage in a Cage over hip hop music, and I always thought
That'd be a
it would
good
be
sample.
a great segment, like a great name of a show about Nicolas Cage movies.
Yeah, I like that clip of the day.
Yeah,
But there's so many. And there's
that's the whole point. Like, you could never run out of things to talk about.
I still haven't seen Vampires Kiss.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I just watched the Dracula with Jack Palance.
There's where Jack Palance plays Dracula.
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
No.
What do you mean? I didn't know about it before. It was on
What year?
That streaming service, Shudder.
Okay.
I think in like the late '60s, maybe. I forget what year it was, but it's really weird. It's not really weird. The face that he makes anytime they show him is really weird because it's just like
Jack Palance. He's like,
he's got. I mean, the fangs are fucking huge, and he makes these faces when he sees like he like recognizes the woman from a photo, where this guy's like he's like, oh yes, that's my wife, or I mean,
yeah,
that's not the guy's accent at all. It should have been.
that's me wife.
That's me wife, Drac.
Take a gander at me have me photo of me wife. I'm
But
Jonathan Harker.
So it turns out this dashing bloke, his wife, I guess, with Dracula like many years before. But whatever. When Jack Palance first sees her, he makes this face. He's like,
yeah, but it's that
so
Jack.
weird. Huh?
It's that same Jack Palance face. Rob, probably right.
Right.
We're gonna
But
find
because he has these like really long teeth, like you can tell he's got like fake teeth in his mouth like every time they show him, which is funny because they have it's like he's got the teeth in even when they're not trying to show that he has fangs, and like he looks like he can't close his mouth.
They made him wear them all the time. It's not just the two teeth. It's like a whole thing, a whole denture.
But yeah, that movie ends like the same way that Vampire's Kiss ends. I don't know if the 80s Dracula or that 90s one, I mean, ends the same way, but Vampire's Kiss definitely does. I guess I won't spoil it for you. I can't believe you haven't seen Vampire's Kiss.
No, I just have seen that still that everyone uses. The picture of him going like,
oh yeah,
that everyone uses on the Facebook. I see it now.
It's like pretty much every.
I wish I could put it on.
Every scene in that movie, I'd say, is pretty memorable. When he goes, God, I want to talk about all these scenes, but you haven't seen it. Like,
yeah, we can talk about a different one.
You'll have to watch it. But Dracula with Jack Palance, I don't recommend it. It's not that good.
But because
unless you like dashing blokes, because
it's like, I'm sorry, it looks like someone I know, but he can be creepy.
That might be word for word what he says.
I'm sorry, looks like this girl I used to date. I'm seeing some pictures of it. It's pretty funny.
When I was watching it, I kept trying to imagine other actors like Jack Palance portraying Dracula. Maybe like Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
I guess there's this movie called Billy the Kid versus Dracula.
From a while ago, back in the day, or a recent movie?
Pretty old.
Yeah.
With John Carradine, he plays Dracula.
Yeah, I remember the John Carradine.
I've never seen that. Well, I think John Carradine has played the character Dracula like 3 or 4 times.
And he just copied off Bela Lugosi because he do this.
Is that?
I think so.
You know what? I just realized ever since I unplugged my phone so I could set it down. And ever since I've unplugged my phone, I've just been holding on to it. Try.
You can get a stationary image. There you go. You get you and you get your door. But also there's those cool magnet suction cup things. You could suction cup it to something.
I want to say at some point when Donovan had the van,
Yeah.
I think he had like duct taped his phone to the windshield at one point.
Okay. Was it
Like,
just hanging there? Or?
yeah, I don't remember. I mean, it must have been just like a quick solution before he got like the thing, one of those suction things. But yeah, at
You can
some
get the
point,
suction thing, or you can get the thing that sticks in the air vent, which seems kind of janky. And you can get like a. But those magnet things, every time I like grab it, I like touch it, and it flies off and it falls on the floor.
yeah, I don't have one.
You don't use the phone in the car, do you? Do you drive around?
I don't drive around as much as I would like to.
Yeah. I mean, you can drive around all you want.
I reserve that right.
Well, what if someone calls you in? You're in the reserves. What does that mean? Like you can drive around without the COVID attacking you. You can go drive to the park and look at the birds. Look at the birds eat.
What do you mean? What does it mean?
Don't know.
I can drive. Yeah, I mean you can definitely.
Do you ever just go for a drive?
Yeah. Chris had been working on my car for a while, and I've kind of just since I've gotten it back, there's been a few times where I've just gone out and cruised.
Yeah, you just like, I don't even care where this road leads, man. I just got to hit the road. No, it's all ugly for about 25 minutes though.
Well, in these cases, it's just been, I don't know, like I set out with the plan to get food from somewhere, like carry out, and then I just kept driving because there wasn't like anything I passed. Like it didn't seem that good. I ended up driving like down High Street, like all the way to Fifth, and then Fifth all the way to like Olentangy
Yeah, I do that a lot.
to Bethel.
I hit High Street and just go, and I just see like all this, what used to be cool.
Oh, I drove to. I took Olentangy to Henderson, and then I drove up Henderson, which I don't know why I do that, because that's the part of the road where it's like it becomes like 50.
Yeah.
And like as soon as the light turns green, like if you're not already doing like
50.
you're not already like pushing 45 miles per hour, as soon as the light turns green, everybody's like already like going around you.
Yeah. But I'm on their
No,
side.
I'm not the floor it kind of guy. I like to ease into eventually going fast.
Well, what happens is the rules going slow's fine. You got to do it in the right lane. And, you know, you can't, if it's 50, it's 50.
Well, I'm not trying to drive under 50. I'm trying to, you know, drive
Accelerate.
faster, but I'm not trying to, you know, fucking gun it you know, from light to light, because when you're on those roads, you know, the fucking lights turn red, you know, as soon as one turns green and you get through it, by the time you finally get up to like 50 or 60,
Yeah, you're already slowing down.
5 seconds you gotta fucking slow down again because the light's red.
Yeah, it's a weird road. It's like, should they make it? I think they should make it like 65. That way.
I've just never I've never understood why that one part of the road is 50.
Because there's
Because it's the
no,
only part of it's just in between Kenny and Reed.
you know what? They probably didn't used to be those lights there. I bet they were
Not
just
Reed
four-way
Road.
stop signs.
Reading Road?
It's Reed.
Reed.
Then it goes down to 35, and what happens is everyone slows down way too early from 50 to 35. Right when they get past the last light, they start go slowing down to 35. You're like, no, we can go 50 for at least 7 more seconds. You know, that 7 seconds is important.
When I was 16, I learned how to drive. My parents had an '87 Jeep Wrangler, and it was a stick, and the shifter was messed up, and sometimes you'd shift and it would go into the wrong gear.
Yeah.
And because the cap was messed up too, like I was pretty much winging it, like anytime I was shifting. And one time,
so whenever
the car would stall, it would get like it would bounce back and forth, like it was frightening. And
before
one time,
having a lot of torque, they go burr, 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 burr.
Yeah, and one time, I was on that part of Henderson, and I was trying to shift into. So
you're trying to find them, but you were grinding them. You
I think I was trying to go from third gear into fourth
to go up to 50.
Wherever I was at, I was trying to go up to 50. So yeah, maybe I was in fourth gear and I tried to shift to fifth, but I shifted to third, and the car just like
took off.
No, it was just like started like jerking back and forth.
Oh yeah, it was too high. You're already going too fast for it. The third was way too high RPMs, and you're lucky. Yeah, you probably fucked it up.
I mean, it was already fucked up, and then like
that's what they all say. Damn kids.
That's probably what my parents said. They're like, "No, you burned out the clutch," and I was like, it had been fucked up for years. Like,
well, you just don't know how to see.
Fault. And then I put money into fixing it, and they fucking sold it.
When something's fucked up, you gotta have you gotta have that talent to make sure it doesn't get fucked up more. Like you gotta know how to have something that's already shitty, and like
I had been driving it for like 3 months.
It's
when you're driving a fucking shifter that's fucked up, you're trying to get the hang of how to work it.
You said the shifter ball, the handle on the shifter was loose too. So it was just
loose. It was just, I guess I don't even remember for sure.
The guy probably thought you were trying to race him, like downshift in the third. I'm dropping the hammer.
I saw
it in Days of Thunder. I'll race your ass.
I stalled out one time on Zollinger and whatever the fucking, I don't even know what road that is. Maybe it is
East
Reading.
Cliff,
No, it's like a main intersection in Upper Arlington.
Fishinger,
No,
Nottingham.
no, it would have run perpendicular. It would have intersected with Zollinger.
Oh, that's Keoka.
No, it's got a traffic light.
That would be Reading, right? That's
Red,
Reading.
that's Reading Road. I saw it out on that road one time when the light turned green and the car was like jumping back and forth and this fucking asshole behind
This is a common problem we had.
he kept like laying on the horn, and I finally just like I turned off the Jeep and got out of the car and like I put my hands up like this. I was like, just fucking drive around, fucking car, get the fuck out of here. And you know, he
I had a stick shift freak out when I was a teenager. I was dating this girl, and we were driving, and I was like I was on an incline, and it was a stick shift. I didn't know how to drive stick shifts, and I got kind of stuck because I would just not let out the clutch right, and I would stall out, and there's a line of cars behind me. It was in Reynoldsburg, real busy time of day, and then I was just screaming at the car, and like this girl that I'd was dating for like a few months, and when I was 16, she was just probably thought it was insane. I was just like, fucking motherfucker, and I was just screaming, like really screaming, when you're like, when you're you're supposed to do it alone. It's the kind of it's alone screaming, but I was doing it with her, and it was like, yeah. And then I eventually got it out of there.
When Mugatu just like loses his shit and he's screaming at everybody at the when they're supposed to be assassinating the prime minister of Malaysia and Zoolander.
Oh,
And he's screaming, and it's like really, he's just like, you can tell that like
it's a nervous breakdown.
Yeah. One of my friends had his girlfriend at the time had a Bronco, and that one was a stick. I don't know if all of Broncos are, but I liked driving that car, and it was cool
they damn well should be.
It wasn't my parents' car, and I was pretty rough with it. I think I did some damage to that.
You see this Bronco and you're like, it's probably tough. I'm going to be tough on it. We're going to be tough together.
I drove the Thing one time.
Chris's Thing?
Yeah, there was one time that the bug broke down or something at the Speedway.
Who did?
The Chris's Volkswagen.
The bug.
Yeah, that blue one, or that like foam green.
I think he still has it. Maybe not. I don't know.
But yeah, it like broke down, and he and Cherry and I went over there, and I guess he was gonna like push it home with the Thing, and have one of us steer it. But when we got to Speedway, it started. So he was like, "Oh yeah, you guys just drive it home. Just drive the Thing home. I'm gonna drive the bug." And Cherry and I were like
12 years old or something. I care.
Yeah, like 12.
You're like probably just 16 or 17.
I think we were probably like 17 or 18. But Cherry was like, "Can you?" Chris just drove away. He didn't wait or anything. And Cherry was like,
"You guys got this."
I was like, "Do you want to drive it or do you want me to?" And Cherry was like, I don't remember if he said that he had never driven stick. I know that those two Accords he had were both. I mean, I think the cars he had at that point had both been automatic.
It's a different world, though. The stick shift.
It was a different world than the Jeep that I drove.
Like the Jeep would have been more similar.
But we started driving it on that road next to the Speedway, and
Avalon
no,
or what's it, Ashland?
I think so. But neither of the seats were bolted down. They were
No,
like
no, the seats weren't bolted down. You probably didn't know that.
chariot. I could barely see over the fucking.
They were yeah, they're
And
really low.
I was driving, and I told Chariot, I looked at him. I was like, dude, I'm not even gonna try to fucking get this out of first gear. Like there's no way. Like I did not feel like I was in control
No.
of that motor vehicle. Was operating it.
One time when me and Chris we played a Bloody Incisor show, or it could have been Salvage or Advocado for it or some show we both played at Carabar, and he drove up there and he got too drunk he couldn't drive, and I had to drive the yellow bus home, and he was telling me, you can't drive this thing, man. I can only drive it. We gotta just get some. You can't do it. And I convinced him I could do it, but then when I started doing it, we got on the freeway for some reason, and he's like, we shouldn't have done that, man. And like, I'm telling you, this van, the steering.
One of us is in big trouble, dude.
There was no steering. And the brakes didn't work barely at all, and then like the gas barely worked. So it didn't stop, it didn't go, and he couldn't steer it. And we were going 35 on the freeway, and it was right off of Carabar when you get off of, and we were you turn left. What do? You go down
the way
Parsons to yeah.
Which direction?
We went to 71 south, 71 south from Carabar, and turning on to 70 east. I took the stupidest way because it was like it wouldn't go more than 35 on the freeway.
70 east,
and it was 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, from just a jog real quick to get to 315. So it was such the cops should have gotten us for me, and I wouldn't have had an excuse because I was like, he was 100% too drunk to drive, and I was like 65% too drunk to drive.
Oh, who knows, man?
But
I think the Thing is the only car of Chris's I've ever driven. I'll take his word for it that nobody else can drive them. I believe him.
Yeah, I didn't, because I
mean, it's like listening to somebody like Joel talk about sitting down and trying to play Chris's drum kit, or anybody trying to play Chris's drum kit, where they sit down and they're immediately like, whoa, this is
it's different,
not a normal thing.
Yeah, it's not like if someone were to play Joel's drum set, it's more conventional. A drummer could jump on there and just go to town pretty easily. Chris's is like playing it's just like a big old truck, just compared to like a small car.
Joel's got some. I mean, I don't really know anything about drum setups, but I know Joel has a few things that are not, I guess, traditional, I guess is the word, but
he's got a tom over there.
Well, doesn't he use 2 floor toms?
Yeah, he's got the other floor tom. And the rest is kind of normal.
I think he's got some I think there's something with his kick, like his kick pedal is not normal unless he got a new one. At some point when he and Donovan and I were on tour, I think it broke or something, like his double kick pedal broke.
Yeah.
And he rigged it together somehow for the rest of the tour. And I always thought that he had gotten a new one, but I think he has maybe still been playing the same like broken one that he maybe put together with like
Is it
duct
one?
tape. You know, that's Joel's answer to everything. You know, just duct tape it.
It's your answer for everything, dude.
But yeah, I remember when people would ask us if they could use Chris's drum set for avocado shows.
Yeah, and you're like, go for it. Good luck, man.
Chris would always say yes. And so then people would show, these touring bands would come up and they'd be like, oh yeah, we left our kit in the car because so-and-so said you could use that guy's drums, and they'd walk see Chris's drums and they'd be like, what the fuck?
It's like, yeah, dude, go for it.
Hop in.
It's like, it's like I forgot my blender at home, and it's like, I just got to this electric drill with the fucking hairbrush attached to it. This will fucking do what you want it to do. It's yeah, and Chris would get upset when he played because he screws his drums down into the stage. So every time he would have to use someone else's kit, he would just play these drums and they just move across the stage at like 5 miles an hour. You know, it's like just you could watch the drum set fly away from him, and he had to pull it back in between the chorus and verse and chorus. He'd be pulling these drums back.
You know, I had gotten so used to seeing him do that, whether it was a show we were playing or if it was a salvage show, that I assumed all drummers did that.
Yeah, not all drummers, but he never asks them if he can drill a hole in their stage. He's just like,
no, he doesn't. And I've always want that because he never like talked about it to anybody.
Yeah.
And then I realized nobody else does that.
No, they have like, they buy these things, and he's done all kinds of different things to try to stop him from moving around. But yeah, whenever, I guess his worst nightmare would be to have to play on a cement floor somewhere, because then he just have to.
You can get those screws that go into cement.
He could kind of hammer drill, go, and fucking a large cement screw. And at the end, he just kind of has to plasma torch it off of there. Like I think that at the basement, they have a cement thing.
Really?
Like I think their stage is cement with carpet on top of it.
Really?
Yeah, that place is like a basement, you know?
Basement or A&R bar?
The A&R bar, but the basement of the A&R bar was the basement, remember?
I haven't been inside. I don't think I've been inside the basement.
I don't know if it's called the basement anymore, the downstairs part.
That's not a venue anymore?
No, nothing's a venue, but...
Well, hey, easy. I think that's still a venue.
I don't think it's called the basement. Is it still? A&R bar is really great name for a place. It's catchy.
It's probably like...
It's got a lot of charm. Personal charm for... You want like in a town to have a cool club called something really cool, interesting, and like the A&R bar.
Yeah, it's probably like...
It's like the boardroom bar or something, you know, the unit shifter bar.
Cruising Scooters Underground or something.
Scooters Cruising Underground. Well, that would people would think it was a...
I mean, if people saw that, they'd be like, this place is probably pretty cool.
Well, that would be the underground. I would call it heaven and hell. And heaven upstairs and hell down. I'm sure a lot of people have done that already.
So it would be one bar.
Yeah. They should have called the upstairs the garage, because it's a big garage, and the other one would be a basement, because that's where everyone hangs out when they're teenagers, is in a garage or a basement. You know what I mean? To smoke pot, or bands play in garages and basements. They should have just called it the garage.
Generally, basements and garages foundations are cement too.
Both cement. You're right. Bummer. You can
That's
even.
That's why they're not operating anymore.
Yeah.
I think the last time I was in the basement was using the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like being at a show in A&R Bar.
And I saw Snake in that bathroom when at Voivod. Oh. And like, I was kind of like, I don't know, should I talk to him when he's holding his penis? I just didn't know. So I can't remember if I said anything to him or not. Because just when it's like, hey there, you're in this band that I know about.
I saw Corey Feldman there.
Yeah.
And I went down to use the bathroom because I think he was doing his like autograph table downstairs, and it was like something stupid, like $75.
That's
it was like $75 or $80 fucking dollars to like meet him.
The meet
After
and
you
greet.
already paid to see him. Which I wasn't going to pay. I mean, I had already like started an argument with one of Corey Feldman's angels at the merch table.
You did?
Yeah, well, I mean.
That's right. They're his angels.
They had, he had this new like single or something, and I think Snoop Dogg was on it, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to get that 7-inch, and I went to get it, and the lady working at the table was like, yeah, they're $40, and I was like, for what? Like, does it come with like a shirt or something, or like, are they autographed? She was like, oh no, they're really limited, like it's really limited number pressed.
It could
and
have
I
been
was
an
like,
autograph.
well, how many? And she was like, no, they weren't. And I was like, is like some of the money going towards like a charity or something? Because I mean, $40 for a 7-inch is a lot of money.
Yeah.
No matter who you are.
It's true.
And
I'd say with 15.
So I was like, is part of it going towards charity or something? And she was like, oh, we use all the money to press more copies of it.
Yeah, that's how.
And I just looked at her. I was like, so you're charging $40 for a limited record to press more copies of it, making it less rare. Like,
well, if you would just buy it wouldn't be limited.
And I was, getting kind of,
it makes sense in a business.
Like, how dare you? And she kind of just, walked away from me. And that was the end of, that.
Then you got her phone number.
No, I mean, I wasn't willing to pay that. I certainly wasn't going to pay $80 to do a meet and greet. But I figured I'd go down there and see if, like, I just wanted to, like, shout at him, like, get his attention. But I didn't see him.
They would probably know about the irony behind some of the people who would want to meet him, I think, and be a little wary of that. He knows, and those people know that there would be someone coming down there just to be an asshole and like stick a dildo in his face and take a picture or something like that. They have to be aware of that possibility.
Well, no, the thing, I was annoyed by those things, and then I think I had read later that there was some kind of like there was some kind of issue with that date versus some of the other ones, where some of the other shows had the meet and greet included, and it was only like $10 additional to the ticket price.
Yeah, that would have
So
worked.
I don't know. That was 3 or 4 years ago. I guess I don't really remember what the deal was.
Did you get to try to meet Eddie Money when didn't you see him at the casino?
It was and there were so many people there. I didn't try to meet him.
You didn't try to.
It was packed though.
So many groupies.
Yeah.
Not even sarcastic.
I mean, we couldn't. I think I stood back with like Joel and Leslie, and Leslie was pretty pregnant at the time, so I don't think
She didn't want to have her baby
I don't
blessed
think I don't think any of us were trying to get like up into the crowd with like all these people like freaking out over Eddie Money anyway. But
was there a lot of woo girls?
Huh?
Were there a lot of woo girls there? Like woo, a lot of girls going woo.
Well, you're at the casino, so there's a lot of woo girls anyway.
Kind of like a Journey concert would be, where it's just like renewed novelty thing, and it's like party woo girls, and they're like 19, pretending like they know who Eddie Money is.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could say I'm a woo guy. I mean, I like to yell.
You probably did woo.
I like to yell woo. That was a fun show. Yeah, it was. I know Joel and Leslie were there, and like Charlie and Debbie, and maybe Joe and Laura.
I think I had to work
I think
or
Chris
something.
and Nicole and like Bo and Adrian were there, and then do you remember Kevin McVeigh?
Yeah.
He and his wife were there. Maybe Alex and Emily were there. I think there were a lot of people there. And then we went to Chris's house afterwards.
I had to work, and then my boss, like an idiot, when I got there, he's like, "We really didn't need you." And so I called Alex basically when he's like already there. Like, "Hey, I can go now," because I think Alex had a ticket. And then my boss ruined it for me.
Slayer and Ministry.
That was Slayer, yeah. And I was mad.
Eddie Money was free.
Yeah, I probably just flaked out on Eddie Money or something.
Well, it was early too. I think that I had taken Uber because I went there to go to the buffet. I got to the casino early, and I ate at the buffet for like 2 hours.
That's cool. I miss buffets.
I was so full. I was convinced that I was going to throw up either at the blackjack table or in the crowd of these people at Eddie Money. And I was like looking around, trying to put down like as much beer as I could, but I was so full.
Yeah, that feeling of like I wanted to get drunk, but I can't put it in there. It's frustrating.
And like I kind of remember like looking around and being like, I hope like none of these people stand too close to me. Like I don't want to throw up on, like Leslie or maybe throw up all over Bo or throw up all over Eddie Money. But
well,
I did. I won a bunch of money at the blackjack table.
See, I would think you would get drunk like in leaving Las Vegas and like and just freak out of the middle of nowhere and just like turn the table over like, "I'll take a Bloody Mary," like Nicolas Cage, and then go, "Motherfucker."
Well, I don't think I had that kind of energy because I had eaten so much dessert. I was on a sugar crash.
Yeah.
And I was trying to, drink beers.
Yeah, you blew it. And face it, you're getting older. You can't be just doing that.
Can't just be
partying at the buffet and then partying
at the buffet for hours waiting for an Eddie Money performance. Gambling, drinking Bud. out of bottles.
Why'd you eat so much? Were you nervous about hoping that the performance would be really good and any money would?
No, I think I'm pretty sure I also thought it would be funny if I was like full to the point where somebody like accidentally like elbowed me like right here and I just like projectile vomit.
Yeah.
Any money performance.
You should have done a Beaver Boys type thing with some white wine and shrimp and white wine.
Well, I don't think they had any seafood.
Seafood would have been a good choice for throwing up, probably, I would think.
Well, I'm sure I could have eaten a lot of salad dressing or something.
So really acidic.
Just like a huge bowl of like ranch dressing. Or I could have asked the chef like, hey, do you guys have any like mason jars of refrigerated bacon grease that you guys.
I've heard that's a good way to. Well, that'll make every hole leak the oil like a broken robot. You would just and your gaskets would be leaking this bacon grease out. Your mom didn't use that, did she? It just went in there in the fridge, and maybe she kept putting, my mom would just keep putting the same spoon on the top of a whole bunch of bacon grease, putting some in, taking some out, and then 75% of it just sat there for 20 years in the same container.
Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing her.
House to house. Moving house to house with the same bacon grease container.
Well, what would you... I mean, were they using it instead of using like
olive oil you would use to season something? Yeah, like if I
guess that makes sense, but it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't seem
healthy. It doesn't seem. And your mom's like Emerald Lagasse. She's not like making these amazing infused dishes every night. And I don't mean just your mom. I mean like most moms.
If my mom could have heard you say that.
Most moms got better shit to do. Maybe they're like have a job or more. Than to like tonight I'm going to be doing a fennel infused salmon. I hope the kids love it. They hate me.
I don't have time to make any big meal. Here's a scoop of bacon grease.
It's like I don't have time to get out the bacon grease and put it in and infuse it into these mushrooms.
You don't have any ice cream, but this bacon grease is cold.
It looks like it, and that's what they in the commercials. They use like Crisco for the pictures. It's like a picture on the side of the box is some other thing, and they use lard and Crisco that has that same consistency. Did you know that?
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah. So if you see a picture of ice cream, it's not that; it's something else. And like I think they outlawed it too. But I think you'll see it. I think the rules are you'll see it on the side of a container for like the stuff you put on the ice cream, like the chocolate syrup will have it. As long as the product you're selling isn't the item that's fake, then it's not false advertising.
Are we still talking about like
lard-based subject? Because the bacon grease is yeah, you would like it some Swiss char. Or some kale and
Swiss char,
and you would wilt it in a pan of bacon grease, and top it maybe with some
bacon,
some bacon bits, alongside of your braised salmon, so on of your walnut encrusted tilapia, and that's just a normal Tuesday night.
Yeah, that's just basics.
Mom doesn't have time for this shit. She's got shit to do in the day and She doesn't. She holds resentment to the family. She does. She's not going to make you a gourmet meal.
It's kind of like
Shells and cheese. And
we've been trying to finish rewatching Roseanne. We're almost there. We're almost to the end, but it is so difficult
Roseanne?
to watch that show.
It's not good.
You know, it's amazing to me that it has taken so. It took Roseanne making a comment, like a racist remark about someone, for people to have an issue with her. That show is so. Her character is so awful.
She's an asshole.
Like her and Jackie, they are just like better than fucking everyone, regardless of who it is, whether they're bad mouthing the shit out of Becky's husband.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just like everybody.
Every guy, you're right. Every guy that Jackie dates is a piece of shit.
Fucking Michael O'Keefe.
It doesn't matter who it is.
You remember that he gets he and Jackie go out and they have like a one-night stand and she gets pregnant.
You're talking about
Michael O'Keefe.
Is he from Caddyshack?
Danny Noonan.
Okay. Yeah, I remember.
But yeah, he's like the fucking nicest, sweetest guy. And she's like, I don't want anything to do with you, Fred. You stay out of my life.
Yeah.
And he's just like basically trying to like be part of the picture so he can help her and raise the child. And she's like, what's your angle? And
then Roseanne doesn't give him any quarter. And it's like
they just make him out to be the worst fucking guy ever.
Because he wears a leather jacket and I went out with the guys for beers till 9:30. I'm sorry. And it's like a big deal.
I don't know.
This how it's going to be in the marriage.
But like also any other character like that is somewhat likable at some point in the show, like by the end, like halfway through or like by the end of the show, they're like totally unlikable.
Yeah.
Like I thought, like I liked Darlene's character when she was little, but as she got older, she's just like this nasty character.
She's
and
really
then the other thing like that really bothers me is that like they had to get like 3/4 of the way through the fucking show to acknowledge that like nobody ever paid any attention to DJ. And Dan was finally like, oh, I don't really have much of a relationship with my son.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are you people?
Well, they're terrible people. Well, you remember Roseanne also treated Jackie like shit too. Jackie is never had her shit. Is never good enough. She always picked the worst men. So she treated Jackie like shit. Jackie treated her boyfriends like it was a whole spiral effect. I don't know if that was meant to be in the.
She always got
baked into the show.
She's always got to get involved in everybody. She's always got to get up in everybody's business.
Yeah, because she's so perfect.
Right.
No, nothing to change her there. Dan was the hero. Everyone went.
Why? Because he left.
Dan.
Yeah. I haven't finished the show yet. I just remember like the last season seems like every episode has been some kind of like fantasy episode.
Yeah.
Where they're playing like
I don't
Roseanne is like fucking Ginger on Gilligan's Island, or like she's like Xena, Princess Warrior.
Seems like a contract fulfillment season. Yeah.
It's really weird.
It was supposed to be
the only character that like I like the one thing about the show that I like is the guest appearances up until they started doing that, where it was like, you know, like you said, the contractual thing, like where they're doing these like reenactments of other shows and they started showing all these people and it's just like, overkill. But there's these ones with Ahmet Zappa, which are kind of funny. Like there's this one, like Dan goes to like track down Mark because Mark is like finally he's like so fed up with Becky and so fed up with Roseanne that he's just like, I can't do anything right. Like I'm done, out of here.
Mark was what?
Becky's husband.
Yeah, which they didn't like him either because he had a leather jacket. Like if you have a leather jacket, you're no good in their household except their bike. He's a biker, and they're trash people.
Well, he worked with he worked with Dan in the the garage, but yeah, they didn't like him.
Then he started fucking his daughter. Yeah.
Well, he'd always been fucking his daughter.
I was always fucking your daughter.
I was always fucking your daughter. I don't see why it's any problem. I live here now.
Dan would always get upset and go and fix a go-kart in the garage or something, and then someone had to come out and talk to him. It's like, apologize, and they eat a popsicle or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's one episode with Ahmet Zappa. Like his apartment is where Mark goes to like stay for a few days, and Dan goes over there and he's drinking beer with Ahmet Zappa watching basketball. But there's like a big Frank Zappa poster on the wall, and it's just funny because like there's the poster, and then there's Ahmet Zappa sitting on the couch drinking beer. Huh?
There's his brother sitting. Yeah.
Well, that's his dad.
Oh, it's not Dweezil Zappa.
It's a poster of Frank Zappa.
Frank Zappa, and then Ahmet was there just to kind of tie it together as a cute little.
It was I think it was like the episode was dedicated to Frank Zappa because he
had died,
passed away like a month earlier. But also the neighbor who moves in one of the seasons with his two daughters could have been a great recurring character had they written it a little bit better. Wings Hauser.
Who was it?
Wings Hauser.
I forget who Wings Hauser is, but I'll
Wings
know
Hauser, the man.
I'll know him when
Wings Hauser. I don't know why I can't think of what to say about Wings Hauser.
What movie was he in, or what show is he in?
He was. I don't know. I think he was like I think he may have been on that show, The Young and the Restless, but he's in a bunch of just like insane, like over the top action movies, like cop movies from the 80s and the 90s, like cult movies.
Yeah, he kind of looks like those twins from Oz, those two actors, the Mayhem guy.
But he was in a movie called Vice Squad, and he's in a movie called The Carpenter. It's pretty sweet.
Was he Maniac Cop?
No, that's Robert Zadar. But Robert Zadar and Wings Hauser are in a movie together called The Killer's Edge. And that's the movie that I reviewed on my the first episode of the podcast.
Was that in the beginning of? I heard like the second half of that podcast. I heard you talking about you're like thanking all the people. You're like, what were you saying? He's like, you should go out and buy some of these records I'm playing. As a matter of fact, and
I did.
Then you play Jimi Hendrix. And I was like, yeah, people should really get to know about Jimi Hendrix, man. Get some exposure. Go out and buy some Jimi Hendrix records, man.
Well, if they don't, then they should.
Get out there and move some of these units. Else. And I was like, he can't afford to play. How do you get away with playing manic depression?
What do you mean?
Like you don't have to ask anyone's permission.
I don't know. I haven't. I actually just got approved to have the show on. I got it approved to be on there by me. It was very convenient. I signed off on it, and that was that.
I thought about it. I had a meeting, and
I
we
just
went
got
forward with it.
I just got approval for it to be on iTunes or Apple Music or whatever. So they must not care. Maybe they think I have all the rights. I don't know.
So Cole Hauser is his son, and that's the guy
Right.
that was in. He's been in a bunch of movies. That's who.
He was in Dazed and Confused. He was Ben.
That's right. Yeah, he was in Higher Learning, one of those movies that stays in the 90s. It just stays there, like Clueless.
There's this awesome movie called Nightmare at Noon with Wings Hauser. I recommend it. The Carpenter is, I think the Carpenter and the Killer's Edge are my favorite ones. There is a Twitter rumor that he died the other day. So like people are talking about their favorite Wings Hauser movies right now.
That's how you jumpstart a career.
Well, his wife had to confirm that he was still alive.
Why didn't he do it? He's like, I'm not talking. Fuck these assholes. They can think I'm dead. What do I care?
I don't think he has a social media page.
I can't think of anything he did. Was he on St. Elsewhere?
I don't know.
I'm seeing all these pictures of him, and I don't know him.
Well, look at his IMDb page. You might recognize the movies, but
Let me go through. Because I'm not that great. I've seen some movies, but I don't go back in the 70s, 60s type of like the.
Well, this is like in the
Tarantino 80s. The Tarantino section.
I found this folk record called Visions of Sunshine, though, from like 69 or 70, and he does all the lead. He does the lead vocals, and he does like the majority of the instrumentation on it.
Wings Hauser?
Yeah.
It's a double threat.
He had like a record released under under some other name, like Wings, something with an L. But this record he's credited as Gerald Hauser, which is his. I think Gerald is short for Geraldine, but that's his name. And this record is it's actually pretty great folk record. But I don't think that, too many Wings Hauser fanatics know about it yet.
So he went the way of a Chris Christopherson, or like a what other musicians started in the 60s went to movies and TV? Because there was like newer ones where they do that shit. Well, like Chris Christopherson did it. And then like
George Segal.
George Segal did? Oh, Art Garfunkel was in Catch-22 and a few other movies.
I actually
What are you looking up there?
Well, I had like a George Segal record that I got for like, I don't know, free.
Yeah.
Somewhere. And I just picked it. I noticed it. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, I think I had just seen Where's Papa at the time, that Carl Reiner movie. And George Segal was in it. And
I don't know Where's Papa.
Where's Papa is pretty great. That's an awesome movie. It's got him and Ruth Gordon, and Paul Sorvino has a small part in it.
He was a heartthrob back in the day.
George Siegel or
no,
Paul?
Paul Sorvino was like a heartthrob kind of guy. Like a Brad, he was like a Brad Pitt.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, the George Siegel record is not very good. I may have actually thrown it in the trash.
You know, there's a Ted Knight record.
I did not know.
And he sings standards like they're all pre-written. You know, he just sings some hits. And I could find it maybe.
Like Yankee Doodle Dandy.
No, he's like a crooner kind of. If he's saying like a Pat Boone kind of thing. Let's see here.
I'm still trying to think of other people who were, you know, actors or musicians turned actors.
Yeah, like it goes.
Sinatra.
That's right. Frank Sinatra was one of them. He was the big one. Where's his? Damn it! Why don't?
Where's he now?
Yeah, where's he now? Is this some dead guy? Some dead guy we hear horrible stories about? That's what happens. You die, and then 20 years after you die, everyone starts telling all the bad stories about you because it's been a while.
Well, I think they may not have waited to start telling bad stories about Frank Sinatra. I don't think they waited until he died.
So Ted Knight did an album called "Hey Hi Guys."
Hey, hi guys.
It's just called "Hi Guys."
I thought you meant like hey, comma, hi, comma, guys.
Like, what's going on here?
It would have been cool if he sang the Caddyshack soundtrack.
Well, this
like,
is from. He's singing.
Like if Ted Knight sang all the vocals instead of Kenny Loggins.
So he's doing.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like, it's a comedy album pretty much. But I'll get a better way to do audio. But yeah, he does Blueberry Hill.
Oh, okay.
But if you heard him, he was kind of like, "Who put the bomb in the bomb? Hey, there was the bomb."
Yeah, I definitely recognized his voice, like when he does that voice a few times, like kind of schmoozing with people in Caddyshack.
He does that song, the cover of the Rolling Stone on here. The cover of the Rolling Stone.
Ted Knight singing about one day being on the cover of Rolling Stone. That's pretty fun.
One day I'm gonna be the one of the songs.
Do you think Ted Knight knew about, like, had read Rolling Stone magazine when he sang that song? Like, it does not seem like a publication that Ted Knight would have a subscription to.
He might. I bet you Ted Knight was a cool dude. I think he's.
What show was he on? What TV show was he on?
Mary Tyler Moore.
Mary Tyler Moore, yeah.
And I remember, wow, what's his name? The guy who played Ed in Mary Tyler Moore. How come Ed Asner? Ed Asner was saying, Ed Asner's really funny, and he was saying, he's like, man, you should have seen Ted's butt just look so good. It was round. He would just bop around like a chicken. It's like, he had a great ass. He was just a funny guy. Ed Asner was like, he had a great ass, that Ted Knight. He did his itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. That's probably
You know, I don't like that song.
you don't like the original. You think this takes away from the original a little bit?
I can't speak for Ted Knight's
Yeah.
rendition, but I don't care for.
It's no. I know. I don't know if you do. You hate it as much as your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll.
No.
I
I really hate that song.
You know
That's Still the One.
Still the one.
God, man, it's terrible. There's I would be working at Fortin, like up in the front in the factory, and they would have some like XM station on, and occasionally it would play this just like cheese dick kind of music, and it would play fucking Still the One, and they would play Your Mama Don't Dance and Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll, and I'd be getting so like angry about it, and you know, when you're welding, you know, the things that you're working with tend to get really hot, so it's not like you can just pick something up and like throw it.
Yeah,
out of like,
and it's dangerous and heavy,
and burn your fucking hand. So there were a few times like I had to get up and just like go outside for like 5 or 6 minutes just to be sure that song would be. I fucking hate that song so much. But at some point, I like I couldn't remember who sang "Still the One," and so I looked it up, and there was some live performance of it. Totally, and like it immediately reminded me of in Spinal Tap when they go to play that outdoor festival, and they're billed second to like the Muppets or something, and there's nobody, but there's nobody in the audience for Spinal Tap, and that's like how it was for Orleans. Like they were playing some like county fair, and there was like a very sparse crowd, but there'd be like a few women like up in the like up front, like clapping, like pointing and like singing, and like watching the two guitar players like play together and like get real close to each other and like play that like fucking blues.
Shania Twain? No, you're talking about Still the One. We're still having fun.
It's not a woman. It's not a woman.
So he's like
the guy. I don't know what they looked like when they were younger, but the guy that sings that song, the one guitar player, one of the guitar players is real tall. Like he's real tall and skinny. He's like fucking Republican senator right now, and it's some fucking eastern state. And the other guitarist is this shorter guy that looks like fucking Larry Joe Campbell. I don't know if
I don't know. Joe Campbell.
Larry Joe Campbell is on that show, According to Jim, with Jim Belushi, the really dumb show. You'll have to look up Larry Joe Campbell, but that's what the guy looks like. And he's, you know, they're ripping these solos together, these dual solos, and I hate it. It drives me insane. Now, Your Mama Don't Dance and Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll, that's a whole nother story.
This guy kind of looks like who Drew Carey, right? Yeah. But it's the round head. When you get older, your head widens and like it's really bad. But Still the One, we're still having fun, and you're still the one, right? And so he says we're still having fun, looking at the crowd like we're still having fun, right?
It's like an accident, like something you can't ignore. Like I hate that song so much, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
But I like read the lyrics, and I read an interview with one of the fucking people who was like, "Oh yeah, we wrote it. It was me and me lady, we were doing our laundry one day. I don't know why I keep doing that. I don't know why I keep doing that accent. I think they're from like California.
My,
But the guy, I don't think any of them actually wrote it.
you
I
think all
think
rock stars are from
the
England?
guy's wife wrote it while they were doing laundry with each other.
And we're
So,
still
I don't
having
know.
fun.
I remember reading it and just rolling my eyes and being like, you know what? I fucking hate you guys even more. And I hate your fucking wife. And I hope you accidentally got a color in there with the whites and now your clothes are all fucking pink. You fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's right.
What song is there a song that you hate?
Oh, nothing that I can think of that's like that, but I know that you can put those two songs together, Mama Don't Dance and Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll and Smoking in the Boys Room. They were both done in the 80s by hair metal bands. And you can just put them together
It's like the
as
same song.
it's Mama Don't Dance and Smoking Ain't Allowed in School. And I always thought we should put them together and kind of trade off verse lines and then combine the chorus.
You've always thought that?
We should do it.
I don't know, man.
We got to start that band we've always been talking about. That one band, with everybody in it.
Yeah.
There's always that cool band you want to start.
The thing is, I hate those two songs, but I think Your Mama Don't Dance is Loggins and Messina.
Do you think Smoking in the Boys Room is better?
Who does that song? I know what that song.
Poison's
I
one
don't
of them,
think
right?
anything by Poison is better than anything. Fuck.
Yeah. Even Unskinny Bop.
I don't know what that is.
It's Unskinny Bop just blows me away. Yeah. Unskinny Bop 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 Bop. That's a terrible song. And then there's the one ballad song that Poison does. Well, give me something to believe in.
Jesus Christ.
Remember that one?
Ugh.
There's a Lord above. And of course, the campfire song. Every rose has its thorn.
But trying to think of like one artist that like there's nothing
no redeemable quality
redeeming in any way, and I'm not sure I can think of one. Do you have one? For some reason, I always remember that Corey hates Boz Scaggs.
I don't know enough about Boz.
And I remember when he told me that, I was like, I think I knew that I knew one Boz Scaggs song.
I got one, but it's not. It's more modern, like the Uncle Kracker guy. Remember the Uncle Kracker song? Don't know how you met me, and I don't know why. This is like around the 2000.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad.
But he has no redeemable qualities. But if you're talking about like,
I can say Three Doors Down, as there's no.
Eve 6 bothered me. Frog in a blend, or Heart in a Blender.
I remember even as a teenager,
his creative writing class way of writing lyrics is.
Even as a like 13 or 14-year-old, I remember being like, these lyrics are fucking stupid.
Isn't that funny? You remember when you're young and it's still cheesy and dumb.
Oh yeah. Well,
but other things we let go. Like some Kurt Cobain lyrics are just kind of like he just came up with them on the spot.
Sure.
On the album. but you like some of the other stuff so much that you let it go.
Yeah, but stuff like Eve Six. What is that one band?
It's good, Charlotte.
Rendezvous and I'm Through with You. Whoever sings that shit.
That's Eve Six. Rendezvous and I'm through with you.
Oh my god.
See, back
I
when
hate that song so much. I mean, and the radio used to, I mean, I remember listening to the radio, like the Blitz or QFM 96 up until, I don't know, probably at least high school.
yeah.
I don't know why. I remember having a problem with the music that was getting played all the time, but I think I would still occasionally listen to it. And but when I was younger, like in elementary school or middle school, and they started playing that like Eve Six stuff, yeah, it was difficult.
It was. Because what about Green Day Longview when that came out? Like I liked it.
I liked Green Day. I remember at a certain point when I was in high school that I was never like a huge Green Day fan, but I mean I liked Dookie. But by the time I was maybe like 16, I think was when they put out American Idiot. Yeah. And I had never really like followed a lot of their albums and stuff, but when that came out, I was just like, I hate this so much.
Yeah.
And then I remember reading that he was gonna like make a Broadway production of the American Idiot story, and I was like, I really hate you. And it's been, I think I'm focused more on Green Day since then because of how much I dislike Billy Joe Armstrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't have thought of that one, but yes, I don't like Green Day very much.
Well, remember the first thing was, I think it was before American Idiot, was when they did that another turning point of folks looking.
Yeah, I mean, God, I mean, even if you liked that song, I don't know how you couldn't have gotten tired of it. They played it so many fucking times on the radio. They probably still play it so many times on the fucking radio.
It was just like Disarm. It was,
well, now they play it on the radio, but it's on like classic stations.
Yeah.
They play it on like the Brew. They'll play like,
of course,
She's My Cherry Pie, and then they play fucking Time of Your Life by Green Day.
Yeah, because the people are drunk and the 30-year-old ladies are like, this is my song. This is my.
You don't know what this song means to me.
Yeah. Breakups. This is my breakup song from my 17-year-old boyfriend.
We broke up to She's My Cherry Pie, and we got back together to Time of My Life.
I'll tell you, my cherry pie story was me and my sister. We had this shitty little record player, like a Barbie type record player, and we went to Buzzard's Nest or whatever the record store was before Buzzard's Nest to get the Warrant Cherry Pie album. And my mom bought it for me. I got it home and I took it out, and it was LL Cool J, Walk Like a Panther. It was the wrong record. And I tried to listen to it. I was like, I didn't really know or care about LL Cool J, especially the album in between his original fame and Mama Said Knock You Out.
Knock You Out. I had to plug in.
Cool. I gotta plug in too.
Can it be done?
Yeah, we can call it a day.
Oh, I meant like, can it be done? Like, can you plug in?
Yeah, I'll plug in. Let me go get it.
Okay. I'm going to go get another beer.
All right, it worked. But now he's gone. I'm back to dead body cam. I like those beautiful curtains as well. Oh, what happened to him? I think he might have died. What's happened to my baby boy? He went away and died. What happened to? What happened to? What happened to JR? JR went somewhere, he's gone. JR went somewhere, he's gone. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hello.
Hi.
Where'd you go?
I went to get more beer. Hold on.
I just had to play a little bass for everybody while JR got himself a little brewski. Little play something topical. Talking about Green Day. I'll play I've already messed it up. Jimmy went to get some beer from the kitchen.
I keep forgetting that we're recording this live. Or whatever.
It's not live, but I said, hey, James, take a walk on the wild side.
Somebody sent me a video of Lou Reed and John Cougar Mellencamp performing today.
Who did?
Who did?
Someone sent you a video, you said?
Yeah.
John Cougar Mellencamp and Lou Reed?
Yeah.
What could they have done?
I mean, they did it. If you can imagine it, they did it.
Which song? That song?
You know, I just skimmed through the video.
Maybe it was Your Mama Don't Dance and Your Dad Don't Rock and Roll.
I knew going into it that it wasn't something I was going to. It wasn't a level I was going to sing to. watching the two of them perform together.
Didn't stay watch it long enough to know what the song was because.
Well, it said which songs that Lou Reed had written that they played, and I think they played Sweet Jane and Rock and Roll and another song that I didn't recognize the title of. But the idea of John Cougar, I'm not a fan of the Coogster. I tried to watch it just because I wanted to see, why the two of them were on stage together. And I don't know if the venue is still a venue, but it looks like a small club, and people are, going crazy, throwing beers and, hooting and hollering. But
so whose show was it? It was like, I like to bring someone out.
I'm not sure. It definitely started out is the Coogster, and
wow, he brought
he
out
was getting pretty riled up with Little Pink Houses and Ain't That America, or is those the same song? Little Pink Houses, Ain't That America?
Yeah, they are the same song. It's called Pink Houses. But yeah, you're right. It's the same one. What other song was there that he did? Jack and Diane?
Is that the Chili Dog song?
Sucking on
Chili Dog?
Yeah.
Hookers, we were in we were in Virginia, Crozet, Virginia, Wilmington, Virginia, or something. And I don't think any of us had ever seen a Taste and Freeze. I thought it was just some like slurred speech that like blathered during.
No, I think it was just
recording that song. They're totally like they're like Dairy Queens.
Yeah, just hillbilly Dairy Queen.
I don't even know if it's
taco to the Dairy Queen.
Hillbilly. I would, probably enjoy everything on the menu.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
If it weren't for the image of John Cougar Mellencamp,
Every time you went there, if you got a chili dog, someone would have to bring it up.
His shirt buttoned halfway down, and chili, coney sauce spilling down his chest.
I do know that from watching pop-up video that he had spinal meningitis as a child, and he's really short. He's just a weird little runty kind of a man.
I'm not laughing at the spinal meningitis thing. I laughed. I haven't heard pop-up video, and so
it's just a memory I have. It takes up. It's a part of my hard drive. That's what I fill it up with.
I would watch pop-up video right now.
Yeah.
Do you think MTV still plays music videos in the middle of the night? Do you remember
when no one's looking?
When MTV barely played music videos anymore, and then they would play music videos nonstop from like 2 a.m. until 6 a.m.
Well, they have MTV Classic now.
Well, that was not.
That's what that is.
That had not come to light at the time.
Yeah, there was MTV2 maybe. No, maybe you're talking about in the 80s.
No, they still played music videos in the 90s.
It wasn't
holiday shows. I just mean at some point they were playing from 2 a.m. until 6 a.m. They would play music videos. There wasn't anybody it wasn't a show that was hosted.
There was that probably in the 80s. It was probably like that more than 12 hours a day, and then they only had a few shows.
What I'm asking is, do you think they still do that
on MTV Classic?
No, just MTV. Is there an MTV channel?
If there is an MTV channel, they're playing old MTV reality shows. They're playing stupid shit. I don't even know if there's an MTV channel like that's called MTV.
Do they still do? Is Rock the Vote still a thing? And oh man, Trump at Rock the Vote.
Yeah, Trump would sue MTV if Rock the Vote was around because if because it would get more votes for Democrats. Because that a lot of people credit Rock the Vote for being a huge part of Clinton getting elected for twice,
Sure.
you know, or at least the first time.
Do you remember Rock the Vote and Black Sheep when Mudhoney plays and Chris because he gets all fucking high?
He's like, ah! It's like a reefer madness thing because for some reason he has a cocaine effect off weed.
Yeah,
But he's just on cocaine in real life.
I still don't know if I've ever seen Almost Heroes. Have you ever seen that?
No, I see the picture of it on Netflix where it shows him and Matthew Perry, and he is just the fattest he's ever been, and it's just like hair. It looks Matthew Perry is just kind of like, this is my first movie. All right, let's try this, get this going, and it's just I don't know if it's as bad as Beverly Hills Ninja, but I think the ending of Wagons East is horrible. What I remember.
That's what it's called. Is it Wagons East?
No, that's John Candy's. I'm sorry. I'm talking about.
Have you ever seen the movie Going Berserk?
No, what's that?
It's a movie with John Candy and Eugene Levy. But my friend Jack and I watched it together once, and
That sounds familiar.
I thought it was really bad. I did not enjoy it. I have to watch it again, but I think Eugene Levy was like a limo driver in it or something.
Yeah, but what was good was Armed and Dangerous. Remember that? That one still is kind of funny with the same two guys.
Right.
I did find Going Berserk.
You know, when I tried to tell somebody about that movie once, they argued with me that it wasn't a real movie.
Oh yeah, I love that. And you're like, so I made this up, and I'm trying to lie to you, is what you're telling me. I
mean, it's difficult for me to admit that I actually dislike something that John Candy was in.
I am Eugene Levy and Eugene Levy.
Make up this story about this movie.
It's directed by David Steinberg, which is like a funny guy. And
is he?
Yeah, it says a drummer / chauffeur engaged to a congressman's daughter encounters a sleazy film director.
That's right. And isn't it like
the leader of an aerobics cult and other crazed characters during the days leading up to his wedding.
It's so stupid.
Joe
does it say? Yeah, Joe Flaherty's in it. Does it say who the woman is? Like who his fiance is?
Allie Mills, who was in a like a show that I forget. Right?
Yes.
Allie Mills was on some other stuff. She's in a movie Teachers with Nick Nolte. But I recognize her from isn't she the mom in Fred Savage show, The Wonder Years? Yeah, the mom in Wonder Years is the same chick.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All this information at my fingertips, you know, it's just, we live in an exciting time.
So when did that movie come out?
1983.
And when did the Wonder Years start? I always think that show is older just because it took place in the 60s, didn't it?
Yeah, it took place in the like in late '60s. That was '88 through '93. So she got her big break with Going Berserk, and then that parlayed that into the Wonder Years.
Does she look like
She looks the same.
she doesn't look like younger going berserk?
Well, the Wonder Years is she's probably only 35, the character.
I'm probably thinking of her like when the show ends. I might not even be thinking of the right person.
She was in Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. She was on Hill Street Blues.
Well, yeah, I remember
There you
all
go.
of the characters from
jogs your
Dr.
memory.
Quinn Medicine Woman.
The funny part is
I used to watch that show at my grandparents' house when I was a little kid.
Really? Your grandma probably liked it. It's like, oh, it's a nice show. It's a strong female lead.
Yeah. My grandma watched that show, and I was like, oh, yeah, I like this show for some reason. And I've since read about that show, and it doesn't really seem like something that I would enjoy watching. I don't think it's meant for
to like come out of the 90s. It stayed in the 90s.
Didn't that show take place in like the 1800s?
Yeah. But I bet you there was a episode where they thought she was a witch or something and wanted to burn her because she's a medicine woman. But the dumb doctor would come in and be like, I don't know what's going on. I'll just kind of cut his hand off. And she'd be like, no, we don't have to do that. We just have to apply some ointments. And she would save the guy's life. And it was kind of a precursor to what's that show with Lucy Lawless in it?
ER?
ER?
Lucy Lawless.
Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman came out at the same time as we're so dumb. The Lucy Lawless Variety Hour.
Princess Warrior. Dr. Quinn, Princess Warrior.
I think it was Dr. Quinn, Prince of Thieves.
Ah. Dr. Quinn.
How dumb are we? We can't think of the show that she was on.
Lucy Lawless?
Yeah. It was a show. She was like a Xena warrior princess.
That's what I said.
Oh, that's right. You did. You said Dr. Quinn Warrior Princess.
But I said it. I was hesitant to say it. I was not sure if that was who the actress's name was.
Yeah, she still holds up. She holds up good. Is that what guys say? Like, I bet her tits and ass held up pretty well over the years.
I mean, I don't know if that's how they would have said it in Dr. Quinn times.
They would have, and then Dr. Quinn would have been like,
let me give you some medicine for that talk.
Here in the 1800s, we don't talk that way about women, okay?
Yes.
I like it in movies and shows where they insert some of the contemporary political viewpoints and try to put them into a time that obviously is not interested. Like, these guys would have just slapped her in the face and like kicked her, and like Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman would have been, somebody would have like shot her, or at least run her out of town on a log or whatever.
Well, I think the thing was that the guy that her romantic interest was raised by wolves or something, like as a child.
Oh,
This is character like the
you mean Howie
character
Mandel?
raised by Howie Mandel was raised by wolves. Yeah, probably.
In that movie, Walk Like a Man. Remember that movie? And so he acted like a dog the whole movie. It was really funny. And then he learned to talk all of a sudden.
You remember that show, Deal or No Deal?
Yeah, I remember that show.
Such a fucking. Do you remember that little show? That show that he did called like How We Do It, and it was spelled HOWIE.
No.
Do it.
He had curly hair
would,
still then?
No, this was after Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, or no.
Who Wants to Make a Deal?
Do you want to make a deal?
It's after Deal or Be a Millionaire.
One or the other.
Make a deal or be a millionaire.
You can't be making deals.
Do both.
You know, if you want to be a millionaire, it's a long way to the top. So, no, How We Do It was like, I think it was like a candid camera type show.
Cool.
Kind of like
Tom Green ripoff.
Catch somebody in the act of like reacting like a normal human being, and then he'd pop out in like some disguise or something, and he'd be like, "This is how we do it," and they'd be like, "Oh my god, Howie Mandel!"
That was there was also a Jamie Kennedy prank show where they would put him in makeup, Jamie Kennedy, and he always looked like a goblin, and he always looked really weird, and it never worked. It was like punked ripoff.
Are you talking about Blowing Up?
I don't know.
Oh, well, maybe he had both shows, because he had some show on MTV called Blowing Up that was about him and his friend. They were like trying to
scripted show.
Jamie Kennedy was trying to become like a rapper.
Okay.
And it was Jamie Kennedy and his friend Stu the Jew. That was that guy's name, Stu the Jew.
Cool.
And it's not. There's one episode where they tried to meet with Joe Simpson, who's like Jessica Simpson and Ashley Simpson's father, who I guess is like a successful music producer / terrible father. But they met with him. They met with him to try to get like a music career started or something, and Stu the Jew said like he like commented on the guy's daughter's butts or something. So long story short, Jamie Kennedy didn't get Joe Simpson as a producer.
Yeah.
Because of Stu the Jew messed it up.
I bet, yeah, Stu the Jew's like the Chumley. He just always has like some sort of wisecrack comment. Some sort of, hey, wait a second.
Isn't there... Sorry. Go ahead.
He's like, there's always a guy that's like, this stuff ain't so serious. Let's lighten it up a bit. I'm going to say something goofy.
Isn't there a place in the short north now called Chumley's?
I don't know, but I don't want it.
I'm pretty sure.
The last thing I had that was like really fatty and salty was from Who Farted.
I didn't know they had food.
I had this fried alligator, kind of like chicken nuggets, but like and it was really good. And the burger was actually a good burger. It wasn't like didn't have any sweet onion jelly bullshit on it. Like it wasn't a hipster burger. It was like a real burger at a burger place. And that's pretty much the last thing I ate before I went to the hospital.
Oh,
So,
okay.
But yeah, that was really good. But I would not go to Chumley's. It's probably like Beanie Weenie in a frisbee, and you eat it with a baby arm.
Yeah.
Still got your baby arms.
Yeah, I've got that one on my jean jacket. I can't. I'm afraid to put it on. I'm afraid I'm gonna rip the jean jacket. I can't wear it.
It's too little for you?
A little bit, yeah.
Is it because you're the COVID? You're not like out and active like usual?
Sure. Yeah, I don't know.
It might be.
I mean, I had that jacket when I was in high school and weighed like, I don't know, like 60 pounds less than I weigh.
Yeah.
Maybe like 40 pounds less. I think I was around 140. Or no, maybe I was around like 120. I don't know. I was pretty skinny at some point, but I used to be able to button that jacket up like all the way. I haven't been able to button that jacket in probably 10 years.
Do you think a jacket has to be able to be buttoned up, or can you wear a jacket that just is there with the belly sticking out? Is that acceptable?
I mean,
an unbuttonable jacket?
If someone does it, you've got to accept it. I mean, I've done it.
What are you going to tell them to take it off?
Yeah. What are you going to tell me? Take it off, button it up, done button.
You think my jacket's too small? Who the fuck are you? The fuck are you to tell me what to wear? Just leave me alone in the grocery store.
Make me wear a mask? Now you're telling me to button up my jacket?
Yeah. I put on the mask, take off the jacket, make up your fucking mind.
It's one or the other. You know, it's like, it goes back to, are you going to make a deal? Or are you going to make $1 million?
Are you going to be a millionaire? Yeah. Which one is it? I need a lifeline.
Shit.
Well, we can. I'm getting a little tired. We can call it quits.
Okay.
Okay, boy.
Yeah.
Okay, little boy. This has been an episode of Whatever Spanky. I'll put an intro in or something like that.
Something like that might be good.
Maybe I'll call the podcast something like that.
You could make it.
Mama Don't Dance.
Who wants to make a deal or be a millionaire?
Yeah.
With
deal or be a millionaire. What's the deal that you're making? What if the guy's like, I'll just be a millionaire, and he's like, okay, you win. That's it. Good night, folks.
Yeah. It's like that Tim and Eric show, the Billy Williams show. It's like they show you a picture of Robin Williams or a picture of Billy Crystal. And if they said Billy Crystal, it'd be like a buzzer to be like, eh. And if you said Robin Williams, it'd be like, eh. But if you said Billy Williams, it was always right, no matter who it was. Or it could be like, yeah, do you want to be a millionaire, or would you rather make a deal? Beanie weenies out of a frisbee for the rest of your life. You know, it's up to you.
with with like the lid to a Pringles can
Yes.
to eat out in your
Or
table.
like the pull tab from a sardine can.
Yeah, the tuna can lid. I mean, it cuts you every time you bring it to your mouth.
Edge is all sharp.
Very sharp.
It's
One time I got Vienna sausages and I used the lid to cut them up into little pieces, which is not sanitary.
Maybe that's why they make it so sharp, though. They're
Yes.
like, we got our main audience is, men living under bridges. They don't have utensils. They're lucky if they've got a severed baby doll arm to,
sewed on the back.
with. So why don't we make things easier on them and just make the edges of this top really sharp?
Yeah.
So they can just dice up their sardines with their beanie weenies, and they can just pour the can into a oil funnel.
A used oil funnel, and you can use it to fend off people trying to take your beanies. And also,
right. Sorry.
If you're having like a whole party, like a hobo party, you need to cut up a whole lot of little pieces of Vienna sausage.
You could also, if a dog is attacking you, you could take the Frisbee with the beanie weenies and throw it, and the dog would chase it, and you'd be able to get away.
And you'd be like, good dog, and then you'd make your escape.
Grandpa's Cheese Barn. If you ever order food from there, they have a deli. If you order a sandwich, they'll serve it to you on a Frisbee.
Is that true?
Yeah, I didn't realize it until Lieutenant Dance was coming back from Kent one time, and we were all at Grandpa's Cheese Barn, and Randy, I think that's where we were. I think we were at Grandpa's Cheese Barn, and either Randy or Ryan ordered a sandwich and didn't realize until they were about to throw it in the trash. They thought it was just like a plate, like a plastic plate or something. I was like, "You're not going to keep that Grandpa's Cheese Barn Frisbee?" And they lifted it up and saw that it was a Frisbee. They had no idea.
That's awesome. Maybe I heard about that somewhere and it got into my brain.
Well, I think that they usually just put sandwiches that are wrapped in parchment paper and unopened bags of chips. It's not like they're,
it's a serving tray.
Dumping cans of, Bush's baked beans on it.
Yeah, it's like a lunch tray with a thing on top.
Right.
Not like a liquid meal, like a soup. Or a Jello or ambrosia. Well, this has been good. Real good.
Yeah, it's been enjoyable. Yes.
It's real good, man.
I think it's been pretty tasteful.
I don't think there's anything in here that we're not going to hear later.
Well, I mean, I imagine... Dude, you have to hear it all.
Yeah, somebody's going to listen to the whole thing, I'm sure. All the way to the end.
What's the longest one you've done?
Maybe 2 hours. But,
And you post them all on SoundCloud?
I haven't posted them all. There's only a few of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I noticed that, SoundCloud only allows, I have that one episode on there, which is an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I think that's already
I think pay for it.
It's almost half of the amount of time they allow you to use for free.
Yeah.
I think they only allow you to upload 3 hours worth of stuff without paying for it.
Yeah. They don't want to give up. People just don't want to give away things. We deserve it. We deserve free shit all the time.
That Podbean website allows like 5 hours
Yeah.
for free. That's their like basic thing. And now that mine is, I had decided to wait to like pay for any kind of account with them. Just like I didn't want to pay for it if like I wasn't going to be able to get the podcast submitted to like Apple Podcasts or like Spotify.
Yeah.
So since it did get accepted, I think I'm gonna, I'm gonna try to look at. Well, I'm gonna look into like the one level step up. I think the only thing about it is that like, I mean, it's only like $12 a month, but I think it might be a thing where you have to pay like all of it at once.
Yeah, a whole year or
Which,
something.
$144 at once to pay for, something that you don't know
It's
if
a
you're
goofy thing.
Yeah, it's annoying. Or maybe that's SoundCloud. One of the two is like that, though. It's like, this is your option, and it doesn't look like that big of a deal until you get to the bottom of the agreement or like the bottom of the offer and see that like it's an annual payment. So I don't know. Maybe look into that Podbean website.
I heard of Podbean.
Huh?
I heard of Podbean. I'm going to try to just put this on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I got a YouTube.
The thing with Podbean, though, is that I don't know how any of the other ones work, but it gives you the choice of like trying to distribute your show to like other forums.
Oh, okay.
So like, it's all like available there.
I'll have to do some research.
I didn't do mine on YouTube because mine is like a radio show, and I don't have the rights to like any of that music, obviously.
That's true.
And
that's true.
There's like a video of us playing Pass the Pigs in Richard's apartment one time, and there's like Do It Again by Steely Dan playing on the record player.
Yeah.
Somebody, one of our, either Bryce or Jason, posted the video to YouTube, and it got fucking flagged for copyright issues, which is ridiculous. That like you can't post a video that has music of someone else's.
Yeah.
Like
I can take a picture of a TV set, but you can't do music because it's still audio. I forget how it works.
It's just ridiculous. Like it wasn't like it wasn't as if like the video was I don't know, like showcasing fucking Steely Dan or anything. It was just something in the background.
Yeah.
But they were able to flag it and be like, these guys don't have permission to use Do It Again by Steely Dan in their living room while they're, getting fucking drunk on, Bailey's Irish Cream playing Pass the Pigs. I wouldn't have been able to. I don't know if I even would have been able to upload mine.
What's Pass the Pigs? Pass
the Pigs is like a dice game, but instead of dice, there are these little pigs. And on one side of it, there's a dot, and on the other side, there's no dot, and there's a number of variations of how they land when you roll them. You accumulate different points. There's different points, different number of points awarded for different ways.
On the side or on the stomach or upside down or
all sides.
Sounds like you made it up, but I believe you.
It's a pretty fun game. Hey, the internet is yours, man.
I'm going to delve into the internet. I think there's a lot of things there that I could find useful.
Pass the Pigs is one of them.
Well, I'll play Pass the Pigs just with myself here in the apartment.
You could. I mean, you're just rolling to try to get to 100. But don't pig out. Because if you pig out, you either go back to 0. If you pig out, you go back to 0. But if
I'm already there, baby.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say goodbye.
Okay. Well, it was good to talk to you.
It was good, man. We'll do this again.
Sure. Just let me know.
All right. Have a good
Talk
night.
to you soon.
I'll talk to you soon. Shit's fucked up. Thanks for playing, hosses. This has been Whatever Spanky.